Welcome to Lead with Clarity. This is a space for leaders who want to grow without losing themselves in the process. Each episode is a short reflection on leadership, influence, and the inner work that shapes how we show up for others. It's not hype, not noise, just clear thinking for the journey of leading well. Today's episode is entitled The Window in the Mirror: How Level 5 Leaders See Success and Failure. Here we go. There's a pattern I've noticed across the leaders I've coached over the years. The ones who build the most durable teams, the ones whose organizations still perform well after they leave, they all share a specific habit around credit and accountability, and it runs opposite to what most people do naturally. Jim Collins captured it precisely in his research. He said, "Level 5 leaders look out the window to attribute success to factors other than themselves. When things go poorly, they look in the mirror and blame themselves." That is from good to great. And the more I've worked with executives, the more I believe this is one of the most structurally important ideas that Collins ever put into print. Think about what that actually looks like in a high-stakes environment. The quarter closes strong. A level 5 leader walks into the boardroom and starts naming people. Names the sales director who held the team together through a brutal stretch. Names the product lead who shipped on time despite the chaos. The window. Always the window when things go well. Then something goes sideways. A major initiative stalls. A key client walks. That same leader does not call a postmortem to figure out who to hold accountable. They start with themselves. What did I approve that I should not have? What signal did I miss? Where did my decision-making create the conditions for this outcome? The mirror. Always the mirror when things go poorly. Here's where most people get this wrong. They interpret this as a strategy for looking humble, a way to perform accountability without actually doing the hard work of it. Some leaders even weaponize it. They take the blame publicly, which earns them credibility, but nothing actually changes. No decisions shift. No systems get examined. That's not what Collins is describing. This is not a posture, it's a discipline, a daily orientation that reshapes how you process information. When you consistently look out the window for success, you start building accurate mental models of who is actually driving results. You stop over-indexing on your own decisions and start seeing your team clearly. When you consistently look in the mirror after setbacks, you develop an honest map of your own blind spots. Over time, your judgment improves. Not because you're being hard on yourself, but because you're being honest. The leaders who skip this, who take the credit and deflect the blame, they lose the feedback loop. They operate on increasingly distorted information, and eventually the organization pays for it. So here's the question we're sitting with. In your last big win, did you name the people who made it happen? In your last significant failure, did you start by examining your own role before examining anyone else's? Both of those questions matter. And if you're honest with yourself, you probably already know which direction you tend to lean. Level 5 leadership is not about being selfless. It's about being accurate. The window and the mirror are not just metaphors for humility and accountability. They are instruments of clarity. Leaders who use them consistently see their organizations more clearly, build higher trust teams, and make better decisions over time. Not because they're harder on themselves than others are, but because they refuse to let ego distort the data. That is the discipline, and it's available to every leader willing to practice it.